There, I'm Susan Specht Oram, and I'm here to read to you a little bit from my new book, A Chilling Christmas Eve. And if I look a little haggard, I flew in 2 days ago at 3 a.m. Flight was delayed. I was down in the Bay Area helping take care of my mom, who's in hospice. And she had this sudden burst of zest and came back from transitioning out of this planet, out of this life, and now she's eating boiled eggs and zesty. So anyway, I had to come home, and I wanted to because she's fine for a while, and also my husband needed me, and so now I will read from this book, and just to give you a taste of it. So the story starts on an island up here. It's my version of Whidbey Island in Washington State. And this is book 2. It will become book 2 in a new series. So it's set on a different island than the one that I live on, Fidalgo Island. And I live in the town of Anacortes, Washington, a little town, waterfront town. And it's a working waterfront. Just a few blocks away from us is a shipyard and a port, and they make a lot of noise, starting at 6 in the morning. So, A Chilling Christmas Eve, let's get down to it. Francesca, Chapter 1. We gathered around the Christmas tree, sipping hot spiced cider, but froze when my phone rang. My eyes flicked around the room because the two people I cared about most were here with me. I told friends not to call because I'd be busy hosting family on Christmas Eve. My younger brother Troy arched his eyebrows, issuing a silent scolding for leaving my phone on. Mom said, "I thought we agreed to turn off our phones and celebrate the holiday together." Troy nodded, scratching his stubbled chin. My phone rang again. Whoever it was really wanted to reach me on this dark, dreary Christmas Eve in the rainy Pacific Northwest. I held my breath and waited for it to stop. My fingers twitched, and I leaned over, drawn to the device resting on the coffee table, trying to covertly see who was calling. Despite feeling rude to my brother and mother, I stared at the screen. It must be important for someone to call several times in a row on a night when many people were home with family. My pulse picked up when I saw the caller's name, and a wave of guilt washed over me. I told Mom, "It's Grandma. I'll answer it." Mom and Troy frowned. I picked up the phone and said, "Hi, Grandma. Merry Christmas." "Hello, Francesca. It's not Merry here. I'll tell you why in a minute. Is anyone there with you?" I bit my lower lip and looked at Mom and my brother. They shook their heads, as if to say I shouldn't tell my grandmother they were here. But it was too late for that, because I wasn't going to keep secrets from my paternal grandmother. "Mom and Troy are here. We're hanging out, sipping hot cider by the Christmas tree I set up in my new place. If you lived nearby, we'd have you over to celebrate with us." Cheerful Christmas tunes played in my living room, prancing through a heavy silence over the phone line. I reached over and turned down the volume for the holiday music. Grandma said, "Put me on speakerphone and I'll tell all 3 of you at the same time." Troy picked at an imaginary piece of lint on my thrift store sofa. I stabbed an index finger at the phone, put it in speaker mode, and said, "Okay, Grandma, we're listening." Troy said, "Merry Christmas, Grandma." Mom nodded. "Yes, happy holidays. How are you? How's the weather where you are?" "The weather's just fine in California, but I have bad news, so let's get it over with. Troy and Francesca, your father died." I clapped a hand to my mouth. Troy gasped. Tears trickled down Mom's cheeks. My throat tightened with tears. "What do you mean he died? I thought he was healthy." "He had a sudden heart attack in his apartment. That was it." Mom leaned in. "I'm sorry to hear that. When did this happen?" "Early this afternoon." The 3 of us looked at each other. Mom's eyes opened wide, and she said in a careful voice she used for my dad's elderly mother, "But that was hours ago. What have you been doing in the meantime?" Grandma used her most acerbic tone of voice, the one that pushed us away and kept us at a distance. "I've been taking care of things, but you wouldn't know about that because you weren't here and you never visit." I wiped tears from my eyes, grieving for the father who left when we were young. He didn't call or write or email much, but when he called, he always said, "When I die, you and Troy will each inherit an apartment building. You'll be millionaires for life." And I'll just stop there because my husband, I sent him out for pizza before the football game. And I had a craving for a cornmeal crust pizza, which he didn't think he'd find at Safeway, and pesto and mozzarella cheese. But anyway, he's going to come home soon and make a lot of noise, and the dog will bark. All right, I hope you give this book a chance, A Chilling Christmas Eve. It's a short thriller and fun, and so about family dynamics and who gets the inheritance, because the gardener wants it and the grandma wants to give it to the gardener, but Francesca and her brother don't want the gardener to get it. They want the apartment buildings that they were promised by their dad. All right, well, take care, and the book is on Kindle Unlimited and is also on Audible and Hoopla, Chirp, and Spotify too. Professionally narrated, not by me. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.